Did you know that Micheal Jackson was going to play Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace? No? Then you haven't read George Lucas' A Life by Brian J. Jones. Da, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good. Hello, and welcome to the Sketchbook, where I'll be talking about popular culture and drawing lots of stuff. Yeah, that was one of the things that surprised me about this biography was that Micheal Jackson actually wanted to play Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace. Now, he didn't want to play the CG version. He wanted prosthetics and makeup and things of that nature. But George Lucas was adamant that he wanted a CG character, probably one of the first convincing CG characters to put on film, because ILM was his baby, and that's the direction he wanted to go. But just let that sink in. Micheal Jackson was actually trying to get the role of Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace. I don't know what that would have done to, you know, Micheal Jackson's reputation, but there we are. That's history. Um, yeah, but I mean, don't have a huge problem with Jar Jar personally. I think everyone sucks in The Phantom Menace. You got great actors like Hugh Quanchi and Ralph Brown from Whistler and I that just fall flat in that movie. They're just not interesting, and it's like the kind of accusation that Lucas is not interested in action, interested in actors. You know, you kind of see it there. Um, But I think he did succeed in what he wanted to do. He did make the first convincing CG character. It's just not Jar Jar, it's Watto. And Watto's a great character. You could argue it's the best one in the film. He owns Anakin as a slave, but respects him admires him to a certain extent. He only cares about money, but knows when to cut his losses. He's a good salesman and respects his enemies. He's a clear-cut character, and you can imagine Watto being in different scenes in different movies, in different contexts, and knowing how he was going to react. So that's a good character. And a stiff of a lip Jedi like Alec Guinness would have a huge problem with navigating Watto, but it kind of reveals a lot about Qui-Gon Jinn and his kind of streetwise nature that he knows how to navigate this crook, this self-interested crook that he's only looking at for number one, and Qui-Gon Jinn knows how to kind of play on that. So that reveals a lot about his character. So that's quite good, I think. Yeah, other stuff that you learn: the Millennium Falcon was born out of necessity. The way it's designed, the unusual design, because he was trying to avoid having it look like a ship from a different series. I think it's Battlestar Galactic. Whereas if he would potentially be sued if he went forward with his first design. So out of necessity, he had to come up with this weird ship design for the Millennium Falcon. Other stuff is that he was reading Joseph Campbell after Star Wars, really. He became interested in Hero of a Thousand Faces when he was making Empire, and I wasn't quite sure at his very beginning. The idea that he planned the whole 6 films in advance is not really backed up by the research in the book. And the saddest thing is that at the height of his success, to the height of Return of the Jedi being the success that it was, he was getting divorced and he was having, a huge emotional upheaval. He wasn't that interested in money. He kind of was, but only up to the fact that he wanted control over his films, and the fact that other people were financing the original Star Wars, New Hope, had made them have some say over its cut, and he wanted complete freedom over his films. So a lot of his own money was spent making Empire and Return of the Jedi, just so that he could have control over the stories, in a sense. So huge respect to him. I mean, that's his personal vision, and it cost him a lot. It cost him a lot in terms of his finances. Cost him in terms of a lot of his own relationships as well. So yeah, I mean, you can't come away from the biography but thinking huge admiration for George Lucas, and just grateful for the stuff that he created. The kind of book was released a few years ago, quite a few years ago. So you only go to The Force Awakens when he sells over the rights to Disney. That's when the story ends. Which is, there's not much significant beyond that. George Lucas comes across in the text as quite a shy guy, but deserving of his success. Yeah, I really think that. He did deserve the success of Star Wars, absolutely. Um, Myself, I'm not caught up with the films. I don't intend to ever watch The Last Jedi. Um, when Mark Hamill said, "I disagree with all the decisions that you made with my character," that sent out warning signals, and I just went to the EU and never looked back. Really, I buy the books; they're out of print, but I can find them, so I just read those instead of this kind of the newer films that I'm just not interested in at all. Yeah, this is my first YouTube video for a very long time, so I'm not sure if that subscribe button works, but you can press it if you want. Yeah, more content. I don't know. It's first video, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.